Hi Year 9. In this video I'm going to show you how to do this week's work, which is going to be focused on an investigation to help start the new unit of work. So our title is Investigating Squares, and you're going to need some dotty paper today to draw the squares on and work out things like their area. And I'm going to walk you through the first few pages of the worksheet that I'm going to attach, and it will help you hopefully get on with the work for this week. Alright, so we're looking at squares. On the dotty grid we can make a square by joining 4 dots together. And we're going to start off with a nice easy pattern that you can hopefully recognise. So I can draw a nice small square like that, and what we're doing is we're looking at their areas. Okay, so this is a 1 by 1 square and the area is 1. If I draw the next size up, that will be this one here, 2 by 2, and the area of that one is 4. Then the next one is 3 by 3, area of that one is 9. Okay, and hopefully you recognise these numbers. So then I want you to draw the next 2 squares in the pattern like these ones and label them up with their area. Okay, that's on the first worksheet. And there's some more questions down here. Okay, so what's the next size area you can make and how do you know? And what kind of numbers are we getting by doing these areas? Okay, and why is that? Why are we getting those kinds of numbers? Once you've done that, so you draw the next 2 in and then you fill in the next numbers in the pattern until you've got the 10th one. Okay, so fill in these numbers down here. Then next up, after that, we're moving on to tilted squares. Okay, so we've done face-on squares that aren't tilted. Okay, just drawing 4 corners together, but now we're doing tilted ones. So if I draw a square like this, okay, it's tilted over, but I can still work out the area by doing a certain method I'm going to show you. Okay, now you'll notice when I've drawn this square, it's got the same amount of tilt on all 4 of the corners. All right, if I label that together, look at this. We've done a lesson on drawing squares before. This has been tilted 2 squares that way and 1 square this way. Okay, so that bit there makes a little triangle that tells you how tilted it is. All right, same up here. If I draw this one, this is 2 squares and 1 square. Okay, that makes another triangle, 2 by 1, 2 by 1, and it's the same across here, right? This is another 2 by 1, and that's another 2 by 1. Okay, so by filling in those triangles, that helps you work out the area of the tilted one in the middle. Okay, so we're going to do that. Right, here we go. So find the area of the tilted square. You draw the big square around it to trap all 4 of the corners. That's going to look like this. Okay, so basically you fill in the 4 triangles that I just started to draw. Then if I want the area of the tilted square, okay, I need to know how big the big square is first, and for this example it's going to be 3 by 3. Okay, the big square is 3 by 3, and then I can subtract the triangles that I get down here. Okay, there's going to be 4 of these triangles that I can take away, and it's going to leave the tilted one in the middle. Okay, now we need to know how big these tilts are, and we've said before it's 2 by 1, okay, or 1 by 2, and then we're going to do this sum. Okay, so big square minus 4 lots of the little triangles that I've got in blue makes the tilted square. Okay, hopefully you can see that. If you remove the 4 pieces, you leave the bit in the middle. Okay, leave the hole. So all we've got to do now is put the numbers in and work out this sum. Okay, so the big square, well, it's 3 by 3, so I need to do 3 squared. And then to do the triangle, that's going to be a formula for a triangle, which is a half times the base times the height. Okay, let's fill in these numbers as we go. Okay, so the big square is 3 squared because it's 3 by 3. The base of the triangle is 2. The height of the triangle up there is 1. And by subtracting, you leave this bit. So let's fill in the rest. So it's 3 squared minus, and then that's going to be a number. Now let's work these out, shall we? So 3 squared is 3 times 3 is 9. That's 9 squares in the big one. And then 4 times a half times 2 times 1. Well, if you work that out, that's going to be 4. Okay, because half times 2 is 1, and then you times in by 4, so that makes 4. Subtract, and you're left with 5. Okay, so that means the tilted square, which you can put in the box in the middle in here, is worth 5. Okay, and you've worked it out. Okay, now the aim of the game is what square sizes can you make? Okay, if I say draw me a square with a size of 11, can it be done? All right, that's what we're trying to achieve today. All right, let's see if we can do another example first of all. Okay, that's 5. One more example. Here's another tilted square. So again, we're going to entrap it with a big square like that, all four corners, and then look at those sizes. Okay, so how big is this big square? Well, it goes along by 4 and down by 4, so it's 4 by 4. Okay, that's something we can work out. And then the tilt is that much, how much it tilts by is 2 by 2, okay? And it's the same all the way around, okay? If you look at any of these four corners, it's always 2 by 2. Right, now we can do the sum. So 4 squared is the big sum. 4 times the triangle, okay? So we'll put 4 squared there. Now how big is the triangle? It's 2 by 2, that's this bit. All right, work out the bits of the sum, take them away, and you get your area that's left over in the middle. Okay, so what are these? 4 squared, 4 times 4, that's 16. 4 times a half times 2 times 2, that's going to make 8. Okay, you can use a calculator for this. Take them away, and you get 8 again. Okay, so the area in the middle of this bit here is 8. Okay, so far we've made an area of 5, and the tilt of the square, we're going to write it a bit like a coordinate, okay? We're going to use these symbols here to talk about the tilt, okay? So 1 by 2 is the tilt, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put the small number before the big number, okay? So 1 by 2, 1, 2. This one, because it's tilted by 2 and 2, we're going to write it this way, okay? So the tilt of this square is 2 by 2, okay? That's how we're going to write things down. Right, what I want you to do then, I want you to use Dotty grid paper for today, and for each of these rows of the table, these numbers here are the possible areas, and you're going to tell me if, first of all, if it's possible to draw that area, and then you're going to write down what tilt you've used to make that triangle. To make that square area. So if we go back to the examples we've done, we've currently done an area of 5, okay, when the tilt was 1 and 2. Okay, you can go back and look at that example, and that's how we got an area of 5. Then we also got an area of 8 by doing 2 by 2. Okay, that's the tilt there for that second one. All right, so those are 2 already done for you. Another one you can do is you can do area 1. That's possible. Okay, and the tilt is going to be nothing by 1. Okay, that's how we're going to write it like that, because that one was just the 1 by 1 square we started with. Okay, that square there, it's just a 1 by 1 square. It's got no tilt and it's up by 1. Okay, so you can write it like that. Okay, to see how many of the rest you can fill in, do some working out to work out these areas and see how many you can come up with. Okay, you should be able to do quite a few of them. Right, and then I'll attach the answers and you can check them by pressing on these blue shapes in the middle. Okay, if you press these ones, it will unhighlight them for you. Okay, it will cover them, uncover them. Right, so just for today, you're sorting out how many of these you can draw on Dotty grid. Okay, right, best of luck, Year 9. I'll do the rest in another video for tomorrow.